Hey folks, just a quick video today. This is something that I actually was speaking about it with someone recently, why this tuning's so cool, and I thought, you know what, while I'm doing other stuff with the rig, let's just grab the bass and shoot a quick video talking about this, because I think some people overlook how valuable this can be even on a 4-string bass. So I'm imagining you're probably a bass player if you're watching this, and if you're a bass player, there's a very high probability that you're a Yannick Gwizdala fan, or at the very least have seen some of his content. And he quite often plays a 5-string bass tuned E, A, D, G, C. Contrary to the way most 5-string basses are tuned, he uses a high C string above the standard tuned strings, as opposed to a low B below them. And this is great for melodic work. For someone like him who plays melodies, and even for myself, I do a lot of that in my own music, it's a really valuable tool. And for this reason, I have a standard tuned 4-string bass in standard tuning, E, A, D, G, but also in my live set, I have this bass, which if you ignore the rather obscure looks, is a 5-string fretless bass tuned E, A, D, G, C, just like we were speaking about. This gives me the full range of a standard bass, plus an extra high string. But what about on a 4-string bass? Well, there are examples of bass players like Victor Wooten using this tuning on a standard 4-string bass, tuned A, D, G, C. So we're using that high C string and ditching the low E string. Now, for a lot of players, if you're not a melodic player who's only playing melodies on that bass, you're going to miss out on that low E string. But actually, this could be a real benefit, and that's why I've got this bass here. This is my Ventura fretless bass, tuned A, D, G, C. It's quite dusty, because it hasn't seen a lot of action recently. But actually, this conversation I was talking about really sparked me to get back out playing this bass. It's highlighted something that I hadn't really considered with this. The lowest note on this bass is an A, so the open A string. If you're like me and you use octave pedals, you might know that for most analog octave pedals, really the low A, so that 5th fret on the E string, is about as low as you can get before it turns to complete chaos. And that's part of the design of them. I mean, I've got an OC2 here, which is arguably the most iconic octave pedal you can get for bass, but it still can't track lower than an A. In fact, it struggles once it gets to about a B flat and then the A. Any lower than that is really, really difficult to get that to track, if it tracks at all. And that's quite commonplace for most analog octavers. It's part of the charm of them. This is where this tuning really comes in handy though, because whereas on a standard tune bass, you'd have to really think about where you were playing on the neck, with this bass, whole fretboard. Because the lowest note you can play just about tracks. It doesn't always come out great, but the lowest note you can play just about tracks. So basically anything higher than the open A string should play ball. Now, of course, with octave pedals, location on the fretboard does affect the tonality. People tend to favour the 7th fret or higher because it's a bit warmer. It's got a character that people seem to really like. But you can still play down here. Now, the good thing here is that that high C will still play ball really well with the octave pedal. So yeah, this is just a quick video. I highly recommend trying this out. For me, I'm doing it on a fretless bass because, well, if you've seen any of my other videos, fretless is my go-to voice for my music. And it suits the octave pedal well, I think. But the principle here is I've taken a pretty cheap bass. I think I paid about £80 in the UK for this bass. And I'd highly recommend trying that. Take a cheaper instrument if you have one. Try it with this tuning, see how you get on. Something you'll need to be aware of is you do need special strings for it, and that you need a 32 gauge or around about a 30 gauge string, a high C string from a 6-string bass set. So I'm using the A, D and G from a standard bass guitar string set, the Dario 45 to 105 set in my case, And then I've got a 32 gauge high C string from the Dario there as well. And you may, depending on the way the nut is cut on your bass, you would maybe need to change the nut. You might get away with just trying it though, if you're just trying this out to see if it works. Just stringing it up, seeing how you get on. I've been very lucky that both the basses I've done this on, the nut hasn't been particularly well cut in the first place, so I've actually been okay just to restring it. You won't always get as lucky as that. That's just a very fortunate thing that's happened here. But again, you could just buy a single high C string, move the strings over to try it out, and you can always put it back if you don't cut the nut first. You can always try it with the standard nut, see if you get on okay with it. If it does work out okay, then you can always go and get the bass set up properly for the job. But check it out, see how you get on, particularly if you use octave pedals. This is a really valuable tuning. And I might at the end of this put in a clip of me playing a high C string bass in the live set, not with an octave pedal, but just to show what it can do. So yeah, just a quick one there. Hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about this, or you've had experiences with it and want to share your ideas and experiences, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to see what you've all got to say. And thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please hit like and subscribe, clicking all the notification buttons and all that stuff people ask for. I think it's the bell it's called. And if you want to check out more of my music or stay updated on gigs and things like that, Instagram and Bandcamp, Gavin Forbes Music, all the information's on there, as well as my music, which is also on here as well. I'll have that link down below. And until next time, thank you very much for watching and keep working on those bass faces. Hey, Future Gav here. I just wanted to jump in at this point because since doing this video, I've actually recorded a full track. It's the second song I've recorded for my Dawless EP, live layer by layer, which is being recorded live, one take at a time, each instrument one at a time, in full takes into my Zoom mixer, totally Dawless, no edits, mixing in the mixer and then printing it to the DAW just to master it. It's a different route for me, no editing, having to live with small things here or there has been a real learning curve. But for this, I actually did a track, which is that Ventura bass. In fact, I've just recorded it as I'm filming this. That Ventura bass that I've been playing in this clip, in this video, with an octave pedal, through some drive and some chorus to really use that. And I'm using the full range of the instrument, particularly down to that low B flat. So I'm going to cut that in now. And yeah, hope you enjoy the clip. And again, keep working on those bass faces.